Hi, it's Jamie, Progressive's Employee of the Month, 2 months in a row. Leave a message at the... Hi, Jamie. It's me, Jamie. I just had a new idea for our song about the Name Your Price tool. So when it's like, tell us what you want to pay, hey, 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 and the trombone goes, blah, 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 and you say, we'll help you find coverage options to fit your budget. Then we just all do finger snaps while a choir goes, savings coming at ya, savings coming at ya. Yes? No? Maybe? Anyway, see you at practice tonight. I got new lyrics for the rap break.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hi, I'm stunning Stella Cheeks.
And I'm the Enigma Erin Klein.
And this is
Not Your Demographic,
a feminist wrestling podcast.
Shockingly, those exist.
Talk about wrestling today. Hey. Whoop, whoop. How do you feel about wrestling today?
Fine, I guess.
It has nothing to do with the content that I watched. Like, it was pretty good this week.
No, I would agree with that.
I just don't give a fuck right now.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm pretty good. Fine. I had a long week. Nicole went back to Columbia yesterday, so it's been hard living with another person in the house. So it's nice to like go back to our normal lives, but it is sad that she's gone. I didn't watch the series finale of Battlestar last weekend because Battlestar Boyfriend got sick, so we're watching it this weekend.
So stupid.
Well, he and his primary partner and me and Michael, we're all going on like a camping trip the next weekend, and I was like, listen, you have to finish this series because we're not going to go spend 2 days in the woods together and me not just completely spoil everything. Like, you're going to have to watch this. So I'm like slowly trekking towards watching that. Are you guys
going to have an orgy in the woods?
I doubt it. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Nothing's ever off the table, to be honest, but I doubt it.
Oh.
We'll see. Maybe we'll throw the 2 sets of keys into a bowl and see what happens.
No, that's so funny to me. Oh, it got me. That got me.
Yes. Yeah, other than that, pretty easy week. Things have been going pretty well. How are you?
Wait, how's your job? Did you say anything?
No, not yet. I'm so torn. I'm looking for other stuff and like putting together my resume and like stacking things up. I don't know. I'm just so torn between like, fuck you, give me more money and I'm leaving, and just like, please no one ever speak to me. Like, I'm so stuck in the middle of that. Like,
you deserve more money. You get paid like pennies.
I know that I do. I know. I need you to keep asking me, and eventually I'll be like, I did it!
I'm just gonna send the email on your behalf.
Please do. That'd be nice.
He would be so mad if you walked into work and you were like, we've got an email from your advocate.
I'm here for that. That sounds awesome, actually.
I mean, I'll do it. If you want me to do it, I will happily do it.
Just send you my talking points. Like, here are the things that I'm the only one who does. Please write me an aggressive email. I'm
great at aggressive emails that are not like, fuck you stupid bitch. But
yeah,
that are
that's
like,
my problem.
Hi,
I'm too aggressive.
Here is the problem that I'm gonna need you to fix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Look at my scary face.
Slowly moving in that direction. I know.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. So how are you? Other than not wanting to talk about wrestling.
This week, fine. I'm fine. This week was really busy. I had a big show on Friday, which was part of the Burning City Festival. It's a burlesque festival, and me and Helena Handbasket did our Harley Ivy number, and then Saturday I worked a wedding, and then Sunday and Monday Nick's family was in town, so we got to meet, we knew Owen, but we got to meet the other nephew, which was fun, and we spent like Monday at Navy Pier, and it was actually really fun.
Oh, fun.
Like the Children's Museum, which is really nice. They have in the past, even in the 10 years that I've lived here, Navy Pier has glowed up.
Yeah.
Navy Pier is like nice now.
Yeah, it's still a tourist trap, but
for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely way nicer. I think they understand, like, if people who live here don't mind going with their families, we'll make more money.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And the Children's Museum was really fun, and that was nice.
Yeah.
And then
That's where I got my last set of headshots taken.
Weird.
I know, right?
Super weird.
But it's so colorful, and there are so many like solid colored backgrounds. It was super easy to just we literally, when it was me and my photographer, we went in to the front desk people and we're like, here's what we're doing. We don't want you to think like here are two adults with a camera rig in a children's museum. And so we had to like turn in our IDs because we were there without children, and they were like, please don't kidnap anyone. And so we had to like check in on every floor basically and be like, we're gonna go over here, we're not being weird, we're not like taking photos of children. But I got some great headshots from it.
It's weird that they let you do that.
I know. I was really, it's because we were two women. I'm positive if we had been two men, they would have been like, get the fuck out of here, you creeps. Anyway.
Yeah, it was nice. And then me and Helena are going to Indiana to Gen Con this weekend to do our Harley Ivy act for the Thursday night burlesque show. And then we're going to spin. I've been in Gen Con. This will be my 3rd or 4th year in a row. I don't know. But I've always had a show the next night because the show I'm in is on Thursday, and then I have to leave because I have a show on Friday. It's been a big show, like a Plan 9 show, or it was like Original Tease's last show. But I don't this weekend, so we're going to stay for a couple days and actually experience the con, because part of the payment is you get into this con for free. Yeah. So that is going to be fun. So we're just getting an Airbnb in Indiana.
Cool.
Whatever.
I bet it's cheap.
Yeah. And it's like, it's small, but it's like right across the street from the convention center.
Perfect.
So,
I mean, whatever. How often are you really going to be in there anyway?
Yeah, once a year, really. Yeah, honestly. I go to, in the Airbnb. Okay, yeah, not that much. I thought you meant Indiana. I go once a year for this thing, and then I leave. So that'll be fun. I got like a little mini road trip. And just like I've just had like a bunch of like mini meltdowns this week. They've been triggered by small things and then turn into big things, but at the end, like there's not actually like a problem. It's just like I'm very sensitive this week, I guess, not for any reason. And I'm not about to start my period. I'm just sensitive this week. Okay.
Are you ovulating?
No, I'm just sensitive this week. I'm allowed to have feelings and not have it be a biological response.
I mean, I think it's always a biological response, just not like an intensified biological response.
Ugh,
you get whatever. Like 6 days a month where that's not a thing.
Whatever.
What wrestling shirt are you wearing?
The Bar.
The Bar.
It was their first shirt, so it's like not great.
I mean, it's better than them not having any shirt, which is nice.
Right. I think it was their first shirt. It's the one where it says The Bar in red, and then it's like cartoons of them. It's honestly a pretty okay shirt for WWE.
I agree. It's just that it's that like weird gray army color.
Honestly, like if it was on a different color shirt, it would be better.
It'd be way better, yeah.
I didn't wear a wrestling shirt all day, and then I was like, oh, I guess I'll
throw it on.
And I just like grabbed something in my closet, and I was like, this works.
Yeah.
But also, I'm really happy that they won, because honestly, they should win this whole fucking tournament and become the tag champs, because any other reason for bringing them over would be stupid, and they wasted them. And as much as I love New Day talking at their beautiful pancake table, and as much as I love the Usos wrestling, and as much as I wish that Sanity be New Day.
Well, I feel like it's inevitable that the Bar is going to win against New Day because Sanity attacks someone.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
It feels like that's exactly what they're setting up for. So the
Bar just needs to fucking win.
Yeah.
Bludgeon Brothers blow. It's not gonna happen.
Stop trying to make Bludgeon Brothers happen. It's not gonna happen.
Yes, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I would completely fucking agree with that.
Usos and New Day rule. But
they've had their limelight.
They've had their limelight, and the Bar and the Usos put on a killer match. And the Bar, to be fair, has had their limelight too, but not on SmackDown. And they've worked really hard and don't deserve to sit backstage.
Yeah, totally agree.
They rule, and you have some really good tag teams on SmackDown, and then you have the champions, your worst tag team on SmackDown.
The worst tag team, absolutely.
Like
easily the worst tag team on that show.
They need literally anyone else with those belts, but it should be the Bar. If it's not going to be Sanity, it should be the Bar.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. Also, I feel like the eventual setup of the Bar versus Sanity will be awesome.
Yes.
Like that totally fits too. Like that's a really good follow-up feud to have afterwards. I was really surprised to hear the New Day say that the Usos have never been on the main card of SummerSlam.
Yeah.
How? Like that
was their thing last year too.
I was gonna say until this year they had never been on the WrestleMania main card either. Which, like, how do you work for a company for a decade that, and I'm gonna say something kind of shitty here, as a man, and never make it onto the main card during the two of the biggest pay-per-views of the year? That's mind-boggling to me. Like, that just shows how much they fucking wasted them for so
for
long.
a long time.
So long. And for a team that they tried to push as baby faces too, it's incredible to me that they clearly didn't try very hard. Like, seriously, if you're not going to put them on the two of the 4 biggest shows of the year, like,
SummerSlam and WrestleMania, I think it's fair to say those are the 2 big ones.
I think Royal Rumble has that could be in the conversation for one of the biggest ones of the year as well.
I would agree, but I think people get excited for one match for the Royal Rumble, and
True.
it's really big, but
not
like
for the
SummerSlam,
card.
SummerSlam and WrestleMania are billed as big cards, and whereas Money in the Bank and Survivor Series and Royal Rumble are built around a feature match. And doesn't mean that they're not like the big ones, like obviously, but I think SummerSlam and WrestleMania have a different feel to them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's a good point.
It's the biggest party of the summer. It's my favorite thing.
Are you cool for the summer?
It's just like sad right now because Demi Lovato had a rough week.
Ooh, yeah. Yes, she did.
So.
I was like really sad about that.
Me
I'm
too.
not even like a big Demi fan.
I'm a big Demi fan. I'm a Demi, if you will. I really like her, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like pop music. There are a lot of people I like pop music, and I think that she's very talented.
A great song,
and she has good songs, and like she's been really open about her addictions and her eating disorders and things like that. And I feel like sometimes that's a double-edged sword because I feel like a lot of people are really open about it, like become more vulnerable in a weird way, and then they get like, because I mean, I guess like trigger warning, but like Anthony Bourdain was really open about things too, and there's like a pool of celebrities who are like very open about their addictions and like.
I mean, that's what happened with Philip Seymour Hoffman. Super honest about having gone through heroin addiction, and then no one even knew he had relapsed, and then all of a sudden he was dead with 28 baggies of heroin. Like, it just happens sometimes. Right. Like, an addiction is something that you can't get rid of. You just learn to live your life managing it, especially
And I feel
heroin.
like sometimes you think, I think this goes for everybody, not just celebrities, but sometimes you think because you're open and honest about something that it can't sneak up on you.
Right.
And so you feel like shielded in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Which almost makes you more susceptible.
Absolutely.
Because you're like, well, I talk about it. I'm open about it. I've accepted it. But that it can kind of almost blind you to like your triggers and it sneaking up on you. And
right, exactly.
Things. So like that was really sad. So you said cool for the summer. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. I got a text from Nick that was like, Demi, like a sad face. And I was like, oh no. Okay, I'm like really glad she didn't pass away. Like this is really scary. And like that text definitely made it seem like she died. Mm-hmm. Like that was rough.
Ugh, yikes.
On a happier note, what wrestling shirt are you wearing?
I'm wearing a Battlestar Galactica shirt, obviously, but I'm wearing my wrestling merch. If you don't know who punk rock Bigmouth is, first of all, start following her on Twitter. She's fucking amazing, and she's an incredible artist. And she has a whole shop full of pins and poster prints, and one of the poster prints that she has is Okada standing in the Rainmaker pose, being rained down by desserts and ice creams, because he's the ice cream maker. And it's just like a really cute, funny print. And she made a button that's him doing the hand thing, holding ice cream as though his hand is a bowl of ice cream. And that's the pin that I'm wearing. Because I wanted to bring up, we haven't really talked about the G1 because...
Or New Japan in general.
Because it's impossible. Like, I'm kind of monitoring it, but I cannot devote my whole life to butt o'clock getting up, as Cage Side calls it. But I have really enjoyed Crazy Okada. I really like that he's been dyeing his hair red and
ripping pockets off of people.
Yeah, and like coming out with balloons and giving them to children and then accidentally letting them float away and being very sad. Like he's in this really good character of, I was the champ for so long that now I don't know who I am anymore, that I don't have this belt. And so I like this like weird thing that he's doing where he's like adapting. I've also heard that the red hair is like a wink and a nod to Takahashi while he's out, which I like a lot. I think is really cool. And also, Okada said something this last weekend, which I thought was hilarious and had to share because it is 100% our demographic. After one of the matches of the G1, you know how they do those
the like press
conferences, yeah. So he's standing there. Michael Elgin comes up and shakes his hand, and Okada shakes his hand. He walks away. Is gone. Okada turns to the press corps and is making, first of all, this face.
Oh, I've seen this.
Yes, and then says, "Did you buy that? You guys are all so gullible. Dumb muscle plus a wrestler equals still dumb. Even if he's muscular, if he's a dummy, he's just a dumb muscular dummy. And I'm not gonna have a hot match with you, dummy." And I fucking lost it. I was like, oh, Okada doesn't give a shit anymore. Like, fuck you, dude. And like, it's kind of nice to see this having like been there for the Naito, Michael Elgin fuck up at AEW to be like, oh, this did travel back. I'm glad to hear that even if New Japan as a company is still allowing him to be there and booking him to win shit very occasionally, I'm glad the wrestlers are like, he's a big dumb idiot. And,
but even if like it didn't travel back, which obviously it did because the internet, like, people who are shitty online are often shitty in real life.
Yes, very much so.
Even like even if they have a different opinion than us about the whole thing that happened, there's a good chance that he's just like kind of a douche to be around.
Yeah, and like I've heard that well before this current stuff, like into the reasons I don't like him for non-consensually pissing on a girl who was asleep, like that's
and
sexual assault.
Me ugly.
Yeah, right? Also like saying this person jumped into your DMs when you are actively having an affair in your DMs, maybe not a great idea to point out to a whole group of people. Like, again, big dummy. Big muscular dummy.
Big dumb dummy.
Yeah, so I've heard that as well, that like he's just an asshole, and so it's
a smelly asshole.
A smelly asshole. And so it's kind of nice to see them being like, he fucking sucks. This dude sucks. Especially in a culture that's like very polite in many ways, and like people can be douchebags, but like Okada is not that kind of person who up till this point has been like, fuck this dude, which I like. I think it's great. So I just wanted to make sure I wore my button so I could bring it up.
That's funny. Let's talk about news.
News.
There are new Mae Young competitors being announced.
Yes.
3 new names added today. 3 names that we know and love.
Yes.
So first was Vanessa Craven.
Yep. Who's, if you have not seen Vanessa Craven yet, congratulations. She's fucking great.
She's a giant. She's
gives,
called the Mountain.
She gives the nastiest chops I've ever fucking heard in my life. Male.
We say that a lot.
I mean that when we went to that Shimmer show, that last one, like, I've never heard someone get chopped so hard.
Her, Mercedes, and Pentagon are the ones that have made my skin crawl.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm terrible at Japanese names. We have seen this person before. She's known as the Lady Destroyer, Hiroyo Matsumoto.
Yeah, I think that's right, actually. Good job!
Thanks. I just read it phonetically. But we've seen her before. She's very good. Also really funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We've only seen her at like Shimmer and stuff, but she was really funny when we saw her, and I liked her a lot. And then Big Swole.
Big Swole? I'm so glad.
I'm so excited. I'm excited that we get a tournament with Big Swole,
mm-hmm.
Nicole Matthews, Karen Q. Like, I'm very excited for this tournament.
Absolutely. They're just stacking it with all kinds of good fucking people.
How many people are going to be in this thing?
I think it's a 32-person competition, right? That's how they did it last time, and that's how the original Cruiserweight went as well, so I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing.
One other big name that got added, there were some other people that got added, but another big name that got added is Madison Rayne, a.k.a. Ashley Rayne.
Yes.
Right after her Impact Knockouts Championship match against Su Yung on Slammiversary, she did get put into a coffin. I love that people who don't watch Shimmer and stuff are like, they changed her name because she got murdered in this coffin, which totally works storyline-wise.
Yeah.
It absolutely does. But also, she's like called Ashley Rayne a lot on the indies. But also, I do like the idea that she got put into a coffin in a woke X-Men style through the Siege Perilous and came out Ashley Rayne.
Yes, absolutely. I like that. I think that works.
It's definitely something we knew off the top of our head.
Absolutely. No one else will know any differently.
It's not something that we had to stop and Google because I was like, the X-Men thing. This definitely flowed nicely.
Listen, I went to school for research. I know how to do this.
Oh my God. I hope I cut this in a way that it sounds like it was like real seamless.
Oh, it was seamless. I don't know what you mean.
And I immediately outed myself because it was funny.
All for the laws.
Anyways, the Mae Young Classic looks dope as fuck.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Big Swole. I'm so excited.
Good for her.
She's gonna be fucking great.
She's dope. She has dope hair. We love her.
Uh-huh. Other news. Well, let's shift to some sad news.
Yes.
A shitload of people died this weekend. Like, all at the same time. It felt like straight
for different
up.
reasons.
Well, yeah, but it felt like back to back to back, basically. On, what was it, Saturday or Sunday? It was just like one right after the other. Here's the list of people who died this weekend. This is wrestling, so that happens. That's just a fact of being a wrestling fan, that people are going to die. Brickhouse Brown died this weekend. Brian Christopher died this weekend, who's Jerry Lawler's son. Nikola Volkov died this weekend, and Trevor Lee's dad, Tracy Cattle, died this weekend too.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I was like, who is this person? Oh no, that's sad.
Yeah.
They're all very sad.
Yeah.
I mean, the circumstances around Brian Christopher's death are murky, and I know that they're being investigated.
Yeah.
Because he died in jail.
And he was like 43. He was not old.
So I doubt that this is the last time we'll talk about that. But
Yeah.
Nikola Volkov was like a big deal in wrestling.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
That,
and apparently is literally every single person I've seen talk about him has been like, he was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And like, that is something that can feel very far and few between in wrestling, especially old-timey wrestling.
Especially.
of that era, especially, yeah.
Speaking of old-timey wrestling, guess who vanity searches themselves?
I know the answer to this. It's Brutus Beefcake. Our next Ever Mania Ever series is WrestleMania 6, and so I was watching it this weekend and taking notes, and every single time we watch an old one and I tell Michael that I don't like Tito, he's like, how dare? How dare you? I don't know if we can be married anymore. I don't understand. And I'm like, but he sucks. He's so boring. Sucks. And like, I've talked to Tape Machines Are Rolling about it as well, and who I like a lot. He's really cool. You should follow him on Twitter if you don't. He is a huge fan of that era of wrestling. And even he's like, yeah, Tito was great until WrestleMania started, basically, and then he's boring as hell. And it's like, I knew it! I knew it! But Michael tweeted, he was like, I just found out that my wife prefers Brutus Beefcake the barber over Tito, whatever his fucking last name is. I almost called him Sabatelli. I know that's not right. Does anyone else want to switch wives with me? It got one like, and it was from Brutus Beefcake.
He was like, I'll switch with her.
Right? It was like, she's right. Your wife is absolutely right. It's like, I know I am. He introduced mesh paneling into sports entertainment, and I am grateful.
Thank you so much.
I tried to explain that to Michael, and he was like, oh, I guess I've never noticed that. Like, yeah, of course you didn't notice it. You doofus. That's why he's great.
Anyways, old-timer wrestling is fraught with terrible people, but some people are cool, and Nikola Volkov seemed cool, and it's sad that he passed away at a relatively young age. He was 70.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's not young, but is relatively young.
Yeah, for a wrestler, he's old as dirt, but like for a normal person, it's like, yeah, that's like a normal age to start to go. Yeah. Especially if you beat the shit out of your body for literal decades. Yeah.
So our condolences go out to the families and things, especially Trevor Lee, who that seems like it kind of came out of nowhere. So that's
his dad was not old. He was very young.
Sad.
Yeah.
And I think Trevor Lee has a GoFundMe because they were not anticipating it, and funerals and dying costs people who are close to an incredible amount of money. So if you like Trevor Lee and you have extra money, that is a thing that you can donate to.
And he wasn't the one that started it. Someone else started it, and he was like, I don't like to ask for money, and I never would have done this myself, but the fact that people want to give is really nice. So like I think that's not that if you start one for yourself because you need it, that's bad. But I also think that's like, it's like a nice little extra thing you can do for somebody who needs it, clearly.
Right. Let's have a little fluff piece before we go into another heavy topic.
Okay.
Did you know that Natalie Eva Marie's fashion line, Nem, is now in Nordstrom?
What? No, I didn't know that. Good for her.
She be killing it out here.
Good for her. She was not on the list of people that WWE was like, who would you like to see come back for Women's Evolution? Like, why not? Of all of the people on this list, like, I feel like you could get Eva Marie. Like, why wouldn't you try?
They probably were like, we invested a lot in her and it didn't really pan out for us.
Yes, true.
And also she's probably like, I don't know, I have a fashion line in Nordstrom and I have like the Rock's agent, so I think I'm fine. Thank you. I have purple hair now. Have you seen her purple hair?
No.
It's great.
Ooh, I like that.
I like her so much more than that she's not wrestling.
Yeah, we said that at the time.
I'm totally gonna miss her on Total Divas, and I have already missed her on Total Divas because like I like her weird family dynamics, and I like weirdly like her. I like reality TV, I like pop music, I like fluff nonsense, and I like her. I just didn't think she was a good wrestler. I'm happy that her stupid fashion line is in Nordstrom.
I totally agree.
Good for her. I mean, she clearly hustles. Like, you don't get a fashion line. You don't start a fashion line and then get it in Nordstrom's in like under 2 years.
Fucking Ivanka Trump can't even keep her shit in Nordstrom. Eva Marie's crushing it.
Also, she looks great with purple hair.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look that up. You know what? I really hope she is an Evolution. Like, even if she just shows up to piss people off, like, I'm into that. She's fucking earned
it. At this
it.
point, who cares?
Yeah, I completely agree.
There'll be enough good things going on that it's like, sure, whatever.
If they're gonna have some kind of like rumble, then she'd be a great pop, honestly. Have her come in, get immediately thrown out, let her get a paycheck. I'm fucking here for that, actually. I think that would be great.
The evolution of our podcast is hilarious.
Oh, absolutely. If you go back to the beginning, don't go back to the first 10 episodes, but if you go back, we full stop hate the Bellas and Eva Marie, and now here we are several hundred episodes later.
Definitely context with Eva Marie.
And for the Bellas, for sure for the Bellas. It's just hilarious that, like, I think it's funny that I have run into people online who are like, you guys never change your mind about anything. It's like,
LOL.
You have not been listening for very long. We change our minds.
You love Dolphy.
We change our minds constantly about all kinds of shit.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of being a fan of something, is that you should evolve.
And part of being a human.
Yeah.
Segue. Ty Dillinger and Cedric Alexander had some tweets drug up.
Drug up, yeah. I think that's the right way to put it.
That were not funny jokes about rape. They made them many, many years ago. They were not funny. They were stupid and offensive. And they got called out for them. And they apologized. Here's all that I'll say. Personally, I do not think that rape jokes are funny. And I don't think that they're appropriate. And I think that if you're a fucking comedian or you gotta make one, then, like, maybe A, reevaluate yourself. But B, like, God, at least make it clever. At least make some kind of satirical commentary or something. Don't just be like, it ain't rape if she's sleeping. Like, that's not funny. And saying something is a joke isn't a magical blanket to fix things.
Yeah.
Hard stop. I do not like this thing of people's tweets being drug up, because people do change and evolve. But on the same hand, like, these are public platforms. You put shit out there. Like, I've searched my old tweets, and honestly, like, it's hard. I've tweeted like 20,000 times. There is a good chance I have said something shitty. There is fully a good chance that I said something shitty. But if that got drug out, I would absolutely own it and say that I'm genuinely sorry if I am.
Yeah.
I do not think that Ty Dillinger or Cedric Alexander deserve to lose their jobs, and I do appreciate their real, like, it seemingly real, wholehearted, like, apologies. Like, Cedric was like, hey, I made that joke when I was young. It was very stupid. I have a wife and a daughter now, and I view the world very differently, and it's not funny, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger was like, I'm embarrassed. This is not okay. I'm really sorry. Free speech is something that people fight about a lot. Free speech to
often
me
have a fundamental misunderstanding of what it actually means.
Right. Free speech means that you can say whatever you want. That doesn't mean that there aren't consequences to things. Words are actions. Words have effect on people and effect on things, especially if you are a celebrity. And again, I don't think that people should necessarily be fired or lose their jobs over things that they said a long time ago. But if it's something that you don't believe and it's something that you are sad you said, and if it's something like pretty offensive, then yeah, I do think that you should have to apologize. I don't necessarily think that you should lose your job. And again, I don't like all of this things of people dragging up tweets and things, but you know,
sometimes you have to answer for stuff. And,
yeah.
And truly, I think that Cedric and Ty handled it in the right way of giving a real apology, not a non-apology.
It's a joke. Just fucking get over it, you like babies.
A non-apology or an apology. That's not what it was. It was, I did this thing. I fucked up. I'm owning it. I have changed. Here is how I'm showing you that I've changed.
These are different things.
It's very different. And we talked about this off air, and I'm just going to address this quickly because we have been asked by a couple people about James Gunn specifically because we talk about comics a lot.
Context. I do not know a lot about this because I didn't care enough because I don't care about James Gunn.
Exactly. That's kind of how I felt about it as well, is that, like, truly, we haven't talked about it because I don't care. I don't really care about this. I think it's really fucked up that a literal rapist got him fired for shit that he said. I think that that is a line that Disney should not have crossed, but Disney's fucking stupid sometimes and very right-wing.
It's a monster company.
It's a fucking monster company. So I disagree with that. I think that the essential difference here, I don't think James Gunn deserved to be fired for what happened, but he did not give a real apology. He was like, oh, it was a long time ago. I'm sorry if people are offended by these jokes that I made, blah, blah, blah. He was 41 when he made these jokes in 2008 about pedophilia. And there is a fundamental difference between a 41-year-old man who's already famous and has a platform and is currently at the time of these jokes writing Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a difference between that and 19, 20-year-old Cedric, who's on the indies being a shitlord. Those are different. And I think they do have to be looked at in different ways. And I think that Cedric responded appropriately in a way that I respect. And I think that he is sorry. James Gunn did not apologize in a way that I think is a magic blanket for what he did as a 41-year-old man. Again, do I think he deserved to be fired? Not necessarily, but it is different. And they are different circumstances. And they started from different places. And so I don't think it's necessarily the black and white similarity that people are kind of setting it up to be.
Yeah, and I just think that, you know, we as society, like, evolve and change, and some things that were okay are not okay. And, like, rape jokes aren't funny, and they're actually not okay. We live in a very violent society towards women, and those kinds of things perpetuate the violence, especially when they're done in just, like, a blatant, like, dumb way that are not, like, at least trying to have a commentary. I don't even think that the ones that are trying to have a commentary should be told necessarily, but, like, people don't go around, it's not acceptable for people to go around saying, like, really offensive jokes about black people without people saying, like, hey, that's not cool anymore, unless it's done in a, like, maybe from a black person or, like, in a different context. I don't know. I just feel like we evolve, and I don't know why people are like, well, it's a joke, it's funny. It's not, or even if it's like, it's not funny, but, like, you can't, I don't know. I just feel like it's okay to be like, hey, that's not okay anymore. And not just be like, oh, well, you're just offended. You're just, like, a fucking sensitive baby. Like, some things evolve and some things are not okay anymore. And, like, rape jokes are not okay.
Also, I feel like here's a really good way to look at jokes. Are you writing a joke about a community that is oppressed and marginalized? Are you punching down? If you are, it's a bad joke. Are you punching up? Then it can be a good joke.
That's a great way to put it.
Like,
are you a part of that community?
Yeah, if you're like, I think that there are times where you can make a punch up rape joke that does challenge that system and makes you think and will make you laugh and can be surprising.
A joke about race or a joke.
Yeah.
I agree. It is not black and white, but that is such a smart way to put it. Keep talking.
I think that that's a really important thing to remember, is that if you're part of a community, say you're a rape survivor or you are with someone who was a rape survivor, and you're making a punch up joke about the culture that fucks women up, and, like, say you're making a joke such as, like, oh, well, you know, I thought it was bad when I was raped and then I went and did such and such and it felt even worse. Like, you can make a punch up joke like that and it can be okay. But if you're punching down at a community, especially that you're not a part of, it's not a joke. And it's not funny, and you need to seriously re-examine why you think that's funny. I think that's, like, kind of the first step there. Like, if you can, like, fundamentally understand the punch up, punch down difference, and think about what you think is funny.
Stop being sensitive.
Yeah, like, I think that everyone can kind of benefit from looking at, what am I laughing at? And am I part of the problem of laughing at people who are being punched down at? Like, that's what makes good satire. Satire should never, ever punch down. Then it doesn't work. Then it's just trolling. Satire should always punch up. That's why the fucking Jonathan Swift "We Should Eat Babies" essay is so good, because it punches up at a government that doesn't give a shit about poor people, and then makes the satirical joke that, oh, well, if you want to control a population, we should eat our kids. Like, you're not punching down at children like, fuck you, why do you eat? I'm gonna eat you. That's a totally different thing.
I'm gonna say that next time I go to work with a baby, like, fuck you, why are you eating? I'm gonna eat you.
So yeah, I just think that's a really important thing.
Punch down. That's so good.
Yep.
All right.
So that's all we're gonna say about that. But I think it's important that we at least address it.
And for the record, not that necessarily matters, but we accept Cedric and Ty's apologies, and that's it. Period.
Yeah. And if you don't, I understand.
And that's fine. Yeah. We talk about all the time that you have your personal lines.
Absolutely. Like, 100%.
This did not cross my personal line. Mm-hmm. So I'm fine continuing to support
them. Had they not put out real apologies, maybe would have.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. I really love Ty Dillinger. His especially, like, felt very contextless and did not feel like a joke. And again, it's a joke, it's not a magic blanket. Without a proper apology, I would be more like, what the fuck is happening here? But he apologized, and he did the right thing in his apology.
Right. Any other news?
Not that I can think of. That's enough depressing shit. Let's move on.
Let's talk about Toto Bellas and Ms. and Mrs.
Hey! Relationships are hard.
Yeah, I guess, but, like, John Cena and Nikki Bella for realsies broken up. Mm-hmm. And the only boyfriend that Nikki Bella needs is Brie.
I mean.
They had cute matching jackets at the end of the episode, and Nick was like, did Brie really buy her those? And I was like, shut up. That's really cute and sweet. Why are you being a butthole about this? She bought her twin sister who's going through an intense, awful breakup, who is trying to like refine herself, a stupid best friend's jacket. They are twins.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cute.
Yeah, I agree.
Good for Daniel. Good for Brie. And honestly, good for Nikki. Like, I hope that Nikki and John are happy, and I hope that, you know, in the best of worlds, that they like refine each other if that's what they want. But if not, like, I'm glad that the people involved did what was right for them, and not just like, because Nikki even talked about on the show, like, I feel like we owe things to our fans, like, and that's really hard. But at the end of the day, like, I have to be my own person, and like, I feel, especially about all the people that were like, oh, this is so fake, this, that, and the other thing, like, for her to say that and say, I have that weight on my shoulders. I think about that. I think about how it's perceived by you guys. I think about what you guys want. And I know you want me and John together, but that's not what is good for me.
Yeah. And like we've said many times, sometimes you're just fundamentally incompatible. And it happens to all kinds of people. Like, just because they're famous and have a lot of money doesn't mean that they didn't pick a partner that was incompatible. And like, truly, break up before you get married. Break up before you fucking mix your DNA together. Like, have those hard conversations. And like, you should go to therapy and do a check-in before you get married. Blah, blah, blah.
Mix your DNA together.
It's true, though. Don't fucking mix your DNA with somebody that you are not completely committed to having in your life for literally the rest of your life.
Miz and Maurice totally mix your DNA, because you guys are the weirdest perfect couple.
But again, they seem super compatible. They seem very like on the same page as each other. And even when they're in this like reality show, like, clearly like each other, and you can just tell that they like each other. Nikki and John always seemed like they liked each other, but it like you can just tell
there were contracts and stuff involved. Like, that is obviously always going to put some weird distance between people.
Exactly. And like, I think that he meant it when he was like, I'm not going to make you
Miz
sign
bought
a new
Maurice
one.
a $2,000 cake because he fucked up her cake. And then when she found it, she was like, you're lying to me, but also you got me the cake I want, so whatever. A cake that nobody ate. I was like, yeah, of course nobody's gonna eat it.
It's beautiful.
It looks like art. Somebody has to cut it. That's why at weddings you cut a cake and then the caterer takes it away to destroy it. Yeah. If you just left the cake out, nobody would eat it.
I also like too that he's in the middle of picking his dad up from the airport because his dad didn't want to spend $40. And Miz in that time is like, well, I don't want to spend the $90 I haggled them down to deliver this cake, so we'll just do it because we're already out.
To be fair, his dad was like, why are we doing that? Let's just go get the fucking cake. Also, insane when I know it's a reality show and it was probably like blah, 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 but I just was like, why is the dad not sitting in the back seat?
I thought the same thing! Why wouldn't you put your dad in the front seat and then put the cake on his lap?
Or he can sit in the back seat and just hold the cake box.
I know! Also, why was this cake not protected in literally any way? Like, what was this place thinking? Like, isn't it at least sometimes, like, I feel like you get a box like that and it's usually in an open box where, like, the bottom layer is protected so it doesn't, like, bump against things. It's like they literally just pushed it off of the bakery at him and were like, take this away from us. We don't want it.
Hilarious.
And I like too how he's like, I will pay you double for this cake if you will just stop your business and do this immediately.
And they were like, you want to pay us $2,000
for a $1,000 cake?
And $200 delivery?
Fuck yeah, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
I like that woman too, like, you idiot. You haggled me down $10 for this delivery, fucked your whole cake up, and now want me to shut my business down so I can do this? All right.
So funny.
I thought it was hilarious. I really enjoyed this episode.
I also love that her mom, so funny. It's just like, and his dad, like this whole, like it's great. And like, it was fun to see like John Hannigan at like their baby shower and stuff. And like, Dolph Ziggler's a piece of trash, but when he shows up on the reality shows, it has a personality at least.
Yeah.
And like, it's fun to watch him on the shows.
We say over and over, one of the worst things about him on wrestling TV is that he just clearly doesn't give a fuck. At this stuff,
he has been lately, I feel like. But
I would agree with that. And like, that's part of the reason that I've like, I will tolerate you on my television. Right. Because I don't fast forward through his segments.
He's fun on these reality shows because he lives for that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. He's clearly invested in this thing. And you can just read it all over his face and body. Right. And like, oh, okay, if you're going to show up, I'm willing to sit and watch you. That's fine.
Anyways, I love this show. And I, again, would like to reiterate how much I appreciate that it's a fucking half an hour.
I'm so happy it's only a half hour. Like,
It's perfect.
so perfect. I like that it's weird and silly and contrived in many ways, but like 30 minutes is the perfect amount of time for that. You can be silly and weird and contrived for 30 minutes.
I cannot wait to see what their Austin home looks like. Their Chateau Marmez is insane.
It's so beautiful. I know.
I cannot wait to see what their weird Austin house looks like.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Do you want to try an experiment today, Erin?
Sure.
Would you like to break this down and do 90% women, like just talk about the women, and then we can pepper in some dudes here and there because like there are no ladies on 205 Live. But like, and like we should probably talk about Tommaso Ciampa. But other than that, should we maybe only talk about women today?
Yeah, let's do that. I think that's a great idea.
Do it. Lucha Underground.
Were there women on the show?
Yeah, there are two.
I know, I'm kidding.
Two women. I do want to sidebar and say it was really funny when Antonio said pizza. That was very funny. Also, R.I.P. Vinny.
Yeah,
that whole segment was stupid but fun.
I was just gonna say, I feel like we barely ever get any chance to appreciate Vinny on this show, and then he gets this like really nice sacrifice segment. I thought that was really nice. I'm glad that they did that for him.
Yeah,
especially since we don't really know if these people are permanently dead. Like that could be the last time.
And
we
the pizza guy got
that's
sacrificed
true.
too.
And I love that they made the like cultural moment joke of a pineapple pizza too. Like that was nice. I appreciate it.
Even though pineapple pizza is delicious.
I mean, I don't really care. You could put pineapple on my pizza and I'll still eat it. I don't give a shit.
The gift of the gods. So Ivelisse is in this match, so we can talk about it. So the six of them come out. Last week, Mil Muertes got kicked out.
Yep.
But then Antonio comes out again and he's like, let's make this even more interesting because I am not my son. We're going to have a 3-on-3 trios match, and then the winning team will go on to fight Gift of the Gods tonight. So you have to have two matches. So it's Ivelisse, Matt Cross, Ivelisse, Son of Havoc, the Mac, versus Dragon Azteca Jr., King Cuerno, and Desmond X.
Yes.
They have this trios match, which was really good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Desmond X versus Ivelisse was great. They have very good chemistry.
I would agree.
And important that Killshot came out and was watching because he's technically should be in Ivelisse's place because he's part of that trios, but like, so he was watching and pouting.
Yes.
That team lost. King Cuerno pinned Son of Havoc, and then Mil Muertes came out and fucked up that team's shit and fucked up Killshot, who looked like he came to hell, but then kicked Son of Havoc on, quote, maybe accident, but then got beat up by Mil, so, like, who knows?
I think it was just, like, one of those happy accident things.
Let's see, maybe it's Mil versus the Trios champs next. That would be
pretty cool.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And also, you know, maybe Ivelisse is, like, thrown in there because, like, her and Katrina have a thing, and they're both wearing red now.
Ooh!
Maybe it's, like, a new feud because only one of them can wear red.
I'm alive now.
But then, so the gift of the gods was King Cuerno, Dragon Azteca Jr., and Desmond X. I thought for sure it was going to be King Cuerno.
I thought it was going to be Desmond.
It was neither of those people.
I know. It was the person who did the fucking dirt least in this match.
I think that they were like, we have fucked up this guy's character, and we don't know how to save him without Rey Mysterio. Give him this thing?
Yeah, I guess that's true. I hadn't really thought about that. But it was weird that, like...
Desmond flew from the ceiling.
Yeah, I felt like of everyone in the Trios versus Trios 6 people, I was like, I want Dragon Azteca Jr. to win the least, and then he wound up winning, and it was like, oh, okay, I'm glad you've decided to do literally anything with this guy, but also, like, why him?
But also, like, yeah, I don't know.
Also, him bumping the least and then winning kind of felt like Alexa, where it's like, I noticed that you didn't do very much here.
Then the final scene was the only, like, backstage segment of this, or, like, vignette of this episode, but it was Marty being drugged on a carpet. And at first I was like, is he dead? Like, what is happening? And then I saw the beer bottle and I was like, oh, he's fucking drunk. He's definitely being drugged around by Mariposa.
Yeah.
Then she poured water on him and was basically like, hey, you sad sack of shit. What the fuck are you doing? And he was like, well, I'm just dreaming about pulling Pentagon's teeth out. And she was like, why don't you dream about being a champion, you dipshit?
Right.
And he was
your
like,
fucking weird dreams.
oh, maybe I should bring the championship to the Malt Tribe? And she was like, yeah, duh. I got that mask on, but you also have to pull your weight, dum-dum.
I love when Mariposa's like, you're a fucking idiot. Do better, you sack of shit.
She's like, I have come to your like aid and rescue so many times, and then I recently kicked you in the face and not eliminated, but I recently fought you because you're being a dum-dum. Stop being a dum-dum. Go win our fucking family this belt, idiot.
Such good sibling banter.
They have great chemistry.
Yeah, they really do. I like them together. I think that they're a very good pairing. And like, we haven't seen Marty since the fucking first episode, so I'm ready for Marty to be back.
You know what? Weird pull for this week, but I'm going to appreciate Mariposa.
Nice. That's a really good one.
Because I love that scene. I love Mariposa. She's thick.
Yeah,
Like,
she is thick.
Love me some Mariposa. But like, this was good character work for her. And also, like, she looks hot in that weird ass mask. It's a weird fucking mask. And I love how she just plays with her pigtails. Like, she's hot. She had a good moment. And especially for just being a vignette, like, it was impactful. And I
pulled a lot.
I fully love when people are like, ugh, stop being stupid.
I agree. I think that's a great choice for an appreciate. Good job.
I'm assuming that you didn't watch Impact Wrestling.
Nah, I did not. Although, I did watch some Impact Wrestling because I was hanging out with Devin last night after SmackDown was done. I'd never heard of Pluto TV, but apparently it like pulls Twitch streams in and is like...
Sure.
It sort of looks like YouTube TV or Sling or whatever. It's one of those like free streaming format televisions that makes money because they have advertising.
Right.
They have a whole Impact channel. It's literally just Impact 24 hours a day. And
they do like interviews and like Josh Matthews and Sanjay have a show. Alicia Tao and what's his real name? His real name is Anthony Corelli, which is also Snake Guy.
Oh,
oh
my god.
Santino?
Yep. Yes. Santino Marella.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's kind of a part of like Impact now because he does that thing with her and then he runs a wrestling school and he had like a run-in with Austin Aries and Austin Aries is going to fight one of his proteges and like so he's like kind of around right now. It was nice to see him not because like his Santino is like a comedy character. That was like slightly before we started rewatching. But he's a comedy character and it was nice to see him like Anthony the person still be kind of funny and like have a good interaction with Austin and have like good chemistry. Well, I don't know about good chemistry with Alicia Tao, but like they have a show together. It was nice to see him as like a real person and not just like I'm a snake who dresses like a lady sometimes.
I walk like I'm a mall jogger.
Yeah. Anyways, Impact Twitch.
So we watched some of it yesterday and we're like popping around. We watched some Explosion. Is that their Saturday morning TV? It's only an hour.
Sure. It might be just their like dark matches.
I don't know. We were both like, what the fuck is this? It's so weird. And we watched part of, it was like an interview series at the commentary desk. It was Josh Matthews and Steve Rockwell.
I literally just watch Impact. I do not do anything else.
Well, he's an adventurer and his whole thing is that he loves adventure. I'd never seen him. We both were like, who the fuck is this guy? He seems dumb. And literally by the end of this interview, I was like, Josh Matthews can eat a bag of rocks, but this dude's hilarious. Like, he was so funny. And it was so weird to be like, man, this really pulled me in, even though it was fucking awful. He was so funny that I was like, I totally want to watch more of this guy. It was, I was surprised that they did such a good job with it.
Don Callis, at first when he showed up, like, I was sad because I actually really like Sanjay Dutt in commentary. Apparently I'm in the minority, which, like, fuck you guys. Sanjay Dutt rules. But Don Callis, like, it took me a little while to warm up to him because I don't know him from New Japan, blah, 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 blah. But he is really good at commentary and he balances Josh Matthews' douchebaggery well.
Yeah, we both were like,
even when
Josh
he's like,
just wants to get himself over and is doing a bad job at it.
Even when Don Callis is like pulling the Corey and like drooling over the smoke show, Scarlett Bordeaux, or anything like.
Do you still think she's a genius?
Yeah, she did a good job. It was
that's so weird,
effective at making me mad, and it wasn't like a stilted promo. She did lick the microphone in this crazy way.
Gross.
I mean, it was stilted in that it was a weird thing, but it wasn't like It wasn't as bad as I expected for Scarlett, but like Scarlett actually talks a lot on the indies. Like she's a manager. Like, I don't know. I do still think I agree with you that like it is one of those things like contextual. Like there are probably some people who don't get it or like, yeah, finally wrestling is sexy again. But like, especially again, knowing that Jimmy Jacobs and Gail Kim and like a lot of people backstage are smart and know what they're doing and care about women's wrestling. I think like this anti-women's evolution thing is like actually kind of genius. Not necessarily her thing, but like that's kind of what she was doing on the indies too. And like, again, I'm just like, I don't want to hate things. I'm like, I have disliked Scarlett for a long time, but the last time I saw her live at AEW, I remember being like, this is kind of like a messed up storyline, but also like, you're doing a good job and you're interacting with people well, and also like, sure, you show up and work and...
Right. All right.
I reserve the right to say I hate her later.
Oh, I'm absolutely assuming that's going to happen again.
Right now, I'm just kind of intrigued at where they're going.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's like a...
She should probably stop licking microphones. So.
I mean, it is disgusting.
On so many levels.
Oh, yeah.
There was a match between Rebel and Tessa. Tessa wins. Duh.
Rebel,
though, like, again, she used to be a fucking terrible wrestler. And she's not, like, amazing, but she has gotten a lot better.
Cool.
Tessa just, like, beat the shit out of her. Also, I know, grand scheme, we generally don't love extensions. Mm-hmm. Some extensions are really good.
Yeah, some of them look really good. It's just when you throw them on everybody, then they look crazy.
Tessa was definitely wearing extensions in this round of Impact tapings, which is weird that she wasn't wearing them for Slammiversary. But her hair looked fucking great.
Cool.
Like, Tessa has pretty, like, she's got nice hair, like, nice black color, but it's not, like, super thick or anything. And just to see, like, this, like, fullness, and it was, like, had a soft wave to it, she looked fucking great. Mm-hmm. She looked really good. And I was like, these extensions I can get behind. Yeah. I'm all about these extensions. And again, also, you're Tessa, and you're amazing, and I love everything you do, so, like.
And again, it's, like, a thing that happens occasionally among the women in your division. It makes everyone's look better. Yeah. Like, if you're constantly looking at every woman.
Scarlett is not wearing extensions. She just has, like, weird
super
hair
long
that
hair.
She does.
Yeah.
I don't think she's wearing extensions. It doesn't look fake.
Oh, okay. If I mean, she's been growing it for a super long time.
They look great.
Good. That's good. I want their extensions to look good, because they...
Everybody's hair looks great on Impact.
Yeah, that's
good. We
got
Kira Hogan, who has dope-ass hair. Like,
that's true. She does have
everybody's
dope-ass hair.
Great on Impact right now in this moment.
Good. That's what I want to hear.
Allie had a backstage interview where she was talking about how, like, Sue has gotten everyone's head, and, like, she was so disgusted that, like, Madison got put in the coffin, and Allie was like, this is never going to happen again. I'm never going to let Sue put somebody else in a coffin. I'm never going to let this happen again. She was like, maybe it will happen to me, maybe, but, like, I'm going to go down swinging. And then Kira Hogan, like, popped up and was like, you're not going to do it alone. We're going to do it together.
Fucking yeah.
If you're going after Sue, then I'm going after Sue too. And she was like, all right, let's do this. Sue, your time has come. So Kira and Allie are teaming up to take down Sue.
Cool.
And I have heard through the grapevine that her bridesmaid, a.k.a. Spinelli, is wrestling a lot more, so that makes sense that Kira and Allie team up against, like, Sue and Maid of Honor, quote unquote.
Whatever, as long as Casey's wrestling, I'm cool with that. I like her a lot. I want her to continue to wrestle.
The only other dude thing that I want to talk about, there was this, like, insane, two things. Eddie Edwards is the new person that's challenging Austin Aries for the belt.
Oh, okay.
His crazy I'm a kendo stick.
Mm-hmm. I'll take you to the woods and murder you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, all about that.
Cool, yeah. I would love to see them fight in the woods.
I weirdly love Eddie Edwards now, and Eddie Edwards versus Austin Aries sounds entertaining to me, which is, we're moving on.
Again, things change on this podcast.
Things change. There was, OVE does those, like, handheld, fucked up camera things. Sammy is losing his mind because he's got his hair shaved and is like, are you looking at me? Are you looking at me? Are you looking at my head? Are you looking at my head? And they did this weird segment where he was in the bathroom peeing in a urinal and then started yelling at the dude next to him, like, are you looking at me? Are you looking at my head? And then he just turned and, like, started talking to him, but was still peeing, and, like, peed on this guy's shoes, and then they shaved his head in a urinal, and it was super weird and fucked up and crazy.
Weird.
It was weird and terrible, but, like, I guess I enjoy that they're pushing Sammy's character into, like,
actual insanity.
And he's, like, clearly, like, really embarrassed and self-conscious. Like, obviously, like, if you're a bad guy and, like, a shitbird, you're gonna take your embarrassment out in, like, a scary, terrible way. Mm. But, like, it was kind of nice to see Sammy continuously, like, embarrassed. Mm-hmm. Because, Sammy Callahan. Yeah. Okay, I guess we can talk about 205 Live, even though it has no ladies on it. Except for, I guess, sometimes they have Dasha, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Though she was not on this episode, so, like, can't talk about Dasha because she wasn't there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Drew and Cedric had that contract signing.
Yes.
Which was very funny because Drew Gulak was like, you're the Brock Lesnar of 205 Live. And Cedric was like, literally no.
Like, not actually
No.
in any way.
And then Drake Maverick very seriously was like, are you ready to sign the contract for the coolest party of the summer? It's weird when they say it serious to me. The biggest party of the summer? Sign this contract? Yeah? Anybody? Here for the party? You. So stupid.
Drake. Just bust out your weird
Drake.
suits and be done with it already.
Commit.
He's more inching in that way. He's like, you like this canary yellow suit?
If and when he becomes a heel manager, you know we're going to get insane suits again.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is heel.
He's just going to show up with his suit of EC3's face and refuse to explain why he has it. That is like my ultimate goal. Like, if you really want to be the best fucking heel, you can be just pull a suit with someone's face on it who's not in your division and not on your show.
That would be amazing.
I would love that.
Cedric and Brian Kendrick had a very good match, but the important thing is that Cedric won. And then Jack Gallagher came out and fucked with them. And then Drew Gulak was getting shit. And Drake Maverick was like, if you pull this shit, I will kick you out of this match. And Drew was like, whoa. Okay. Calm down.
Calm down, everybody.
Also important, this is on the SummerSlam card.
Yes, I saw that.
It may be a pre-show, but we haven't had a 205 Live match on a card since Greatest Royal Rumble. And honestly, does that even count?
I don't think that does count. So
it would be like Mania.
Yeah, I think. Oof. Yikes.
Which like wasn't that long ago, but in like pro wrestling world it was like years ago, right?
Fucking forever ago.
I can't even remember things that happened last year, to be honest. People will reference stuff in like the Twitter feed and I'm like, when did that happen?
What was that?
I have like such a bad memory about things. And I'm like, who did that? Oh, yeah. I was watching then. I don't remember. I talk about it weekly.
That's how I feel about
That's all
every
one
live
thing.
show I go to. I enjoy the live show super
a lot.
And then as soon as people are like, what was your favorite match? I'm like, there were matches.
Who was there? That's like my grandma who was like, I enjoyed the experience.
Yeah.
I don't
Deeply
remember
relate to your grandma.
any of the things that happened. Okay, I liked, yes, that NXT opened with a men's match and closed with a men's match, but like everything in between was like ladies. Because it was the Shayna and Kyrie signing, where Shayna was great. And I was like, same Shayna. Team Shayna, honestly. Shayna was like, literally you're living in the past. Like, what the fuck have you done here? What have you done? You are pretending to be a pirate. I cannot stress that enough. I have the championship and you are pretending to be a pirate. She was like, you know and I know that I can beat you. And Shayna was like, I do not know that.
I mean, she is right. She did beat her once already.
But Shayna was also right. That was like, I beat you the second time we fought. It's not like everyone's calling this a rematch. It's not a fucking rematch. I won the last time.
I mean,
it is a rematch.
It is a rematch.
No,
it's a rubber match. Yeah.
In the context of their saying, whatever, Team Shayna, because like, whatever, Kyrie. I
get it.
I want Shayna to win, and then I want Candice to take it off of Shayna.
Well, I also feel
even though they're fighting tonight or something, I don't know.
I feel like it. I like that they're embracing the fact that they have kind of fucked Kyrie's character up. I think it's really smart to just directly address it.
Everyone's like, so this pirate thing.
Right? Like, it's fine if you do stuff. If they let you do things, it's great.
And also,
but, like,
is it fine?
No, I like it because it's something different and it's not this, like, same kind of character that most of the women are kind of pigeonholed into. Even if you're like Dakota Kai is a fun face who's a lady who does these things, and Lacey Evans is a mean lady who does these things, and she's a heel.
She punches.
But like they all kind of have the same character, which is I'm a lady and I'm a wrestler, and so I like that Kyrie's like, I at least am doing this thing. I'm trying really hard here, and I think that in a company that often treats their Asian stars like bullshit, I think it's really smart of her to have a very distinct character.
Yeah, I mean, in NXT and for a long time on the main roster, Asuka wasn't treated like bullshit. She definitely is now, but like,
well, that's what I mean. Like if she just came in and was like, I'm a badass lady, she would have gotten the Asuka, and everyone would have been like, what is this second Asuka?
Did that.
Yeah, and so I feel like it was really smart to put her in this way, even if like they're not doing a great job with her. She does still have this like space that is hers.
Anyways, Team Shayna.
I mean, I like Shayna. I've really come around on her. And I think Kyrie is a better wrestler than Shayna when they let them both do their shit. But because they rein Kyrie in so much and are letting Shayna have this space to run, like, it does feel a little more evenly matched this time.
Tanella Price versus Lacey Evans. Obviously, this was just a jobber match for Lacey. I weirdly liked her more against a jobber.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel
her
like
right punch is good. That's a good, like...
Yeah, I like her.
Effective.
I like the women's right. I think that her wrestling is getting stronger and stronger. Again, I like that she yells at people a lot. I think that her, like, in-ring vocalizations have gotten very good. Her character is such hot garbage, it's hard to get past.
I just feel like it's just... Yeah, I feel like
I'm
it's
having
something
the opposite problem as I have with Kyrie, where I'm like, this character sucks. I can't deal with it.
Yeah, I feel like this is a moment where it's like, this is fully not our demographic, and like we can acknowledge that she's getting better as a wrestler and whatever, and fully be like, we don't like this.
Yeah, it doesn't feel blatantly white supremacist anymore, and so I'm kind of willing to be like, yeah, exactly. I'm kind of willing to pull back and just be like, whatever, do your thing, get better. I'll check in with you when you're better. That's
I don't have to explain myself to nobody. I am undefeated. I am undefeated. I am undefeated. Why am I in this match with these fools? I am undefeated. When I'm better, I'm coming back. Undefeated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get out of my face, lady.
Mm-hmm. So good. So good.
She's the best.
Is she injured? Storyline injured?
I don't know if it's storyline injured or
they
real
just gave her a
injured.
shitload of time off for her honeymoon. She was like,
feels, I truly don't know. So, like, sure, you can add us, I guess. I feel like it's storyline injured, right? They were like,
it has to be.
We want to do these tapings. You're not here. We acknowledge your honeymoon. We know you're really important, but also, like, we also know that we've invested in this character and we don't just want to throw it away, but we're going to do Kyrie Shayna right now. So let's just fake that you have an injury right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it makes sense, too. Like you said,
she's undefeated. They love an undefeated streak. Like,
yeah. It's kind of like when, this is obviously a very different circumstance, but like when Eric Young's mom died and he was gone for 2 sets of tapings, like that's sort of what they did. They were like, all right, here's this reason that you're gone. Right. Take your time, do your thing. And like, I feel like for a happy reason for this one, because she had her honeymoon, they were like, well, you have to miss this taping and maybe possibly this other one because
you can do a backstage segment anytime,
exactly.
Right? Like,
so I feel like they've done a really good job of reminding us that she is undefeated.
Just like that she was walking away and was like, I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated. I'm undefeated.
So I like that. I think that they're doing a really good job of keeping her relevant, and also like you said, she's been taken out of this storyline and it fits for the story that they're telling right now.
I also really like that hallway confrontation between Shayna and Candace, where Candace was like, oh, you talking shit? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm right here, bitch.
I love that they've been doing these confrontations with them. I liked the one on the parking lot. I like
that a lot. That's why I want Kyrie to lose and I want it to be Shayna and Candace. Like,
I mean, I will watch Candace beat the shit out of Kyrie, too. I'm into that.
Yeah, but
But it feels more appropriate that she would take it off of Shayna.
Yeah. I also love that Serena Deeb, who we know is like a trainer, was like, you have to step off. Like, this is not the time. This is not time. It's like, well, I'm going to find the time, Shayna. I love Shayna just being like, whatever. You make cupcakes, I beat people up. Like, and that's not like a dig on ladies. She like actually is apparently a very good baker. That's like Candace's thing.
Yeah, that is like her thing.
So, everybody, leave me the fuck alone. I suppose we should talk about Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black.
This match was fucking great.
It was really good.
It was fucking great. We knew. We already knew. Everyone fucking knew. And so it was little weird.
It worked at the end where like you had the ref, who we all know used to be a wrestler, take that like nasty callback bump.
Also, it was really nice to watch Aleister Black do the hand check. Like, I really fucking appreciated that. And that's not something you ever see a wrestler do for a ref. Most of the time because they don't have to. But refs do take bumps sometimes.
But also everyone I can't remember his name right now. I'm blanking. But like, he was a wrestler for a long time and people like him and respect him. And like, he's one of their best refs. Like, it makes sense that they would do that. I also like that Aleister Black's finisher is like protected, still fine. And, you know, it's a good story that Johnny fucked up. Like, that will add more fuel to his fire. And honestly, if and when he beats him and, like,
wins the title,
like,
it's going to mean more.
That's the biggest button on this story, right?
Absolutely. 100%. There's no better way to finish this story with a rubber match for a championship belt. Like, they have done a great job of building this up. Like, I really, really wish we could have gotten a Tommaso Candace match, but outside of that, I feel like they really are taking the best possible avenue for this story.
And Aleister's had the belt for a while. It's not like he, like...
And like we said, he didn't really need it. Like, truly, he could move up today to the main roster and be fine. And, like, popular.
Theoretically,
I think he's a very
Does he
tall...
go on SmackDown or Raw? It makes a huge difference.
I think they'd
Because
probably...
if he goes on Raw, he's going to get finned.
I don't think so, because he's very tall, and Vince will jerk off to the fact that he's tall, and it's kind of sounds like a joke, but I really do mean that. I think that he has this immunity of someone who looks the way Vince imagines people to look, and he has a very popular entrance. Like, Bobby Roode
So did Finn.
Well, sort of. I mean,
It did suck near the end.
Finn's whole popularity was, at the end, his entrance popularity was about the demon, which they don't really do anymore. For the right reasons, I think, to be honest. But I feel like even Bobby Roode got fucked over coming to the main roster, but is still, like, sitting in this mid-card place.
Did he get fucked over?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, for someone who was super popular and then to come up and get the Bard and do fucking nothing for a minute.
He didn't get the Bard. He got a run at first.
He got a run at first and then just got shelved for what felt like no reason. So that's what I kind of mean. Like, he has this protection of this great entrance, and, like, they think
but now
about
he's
him.
in a feud with Mojo, so, like...
Yeah, but they really want Mojo to be a thing. And so I don't think that they mean it as an insult.
Not gonna be a thing.
I fucking agree with you. But I feel like...
I will eat my words, but I will take any monetary bet that Mojo will not be a thing.
Yeah, I
really don't see that happening.
I don't get it. It's like they think because he's got, like, a white guy black scent that he's somehow pushable. Like, he's not John Cena. Straight up isn't. And is annoying. And, like, I get it that he's friends with Rob Gronkowski. Like, that's not enough reason for me. Like,
I think that Mojo works really hard, and, like...
I don't think he doesn't work hard.
But, like, and I think that he's probably, like, a fine person or blah, blah, blah. Who cares?
Oh, I've heard he's a very nice guy.
But, like, as a wrestler, and honestly, like, his gimmick doesn't work as a heel. Like,
no, it doesn't.
Some people are not good heels, which is weird, because most of the time we're like, make this person a heel, they're not going to be a good face, but, like, he's not a good heel.
Right, and...
it's, like, not believable.
You're going to split up the Hype Bros and make Zack Ryder the babyface? Zack Ryder, one of the best fucking heels they've had for a decade that they, again, fucking waste. Like, it just seems like such a strange choice. Like, why aren't you doing this literal same thing with Roman, who it would work with? Like, it's very weird. It's like, they know that these storylines exist and can work for people, but they're just trying to, like, stick them into the wrong people. But that's why I think, like, Alistair is popular enough in a way that he could transition up and
hopefully
be okay.
I mean, I want him to.
Yeah. I think he might get the same kind of thing that Cien had at first. I think that that's possible, where it's like they're so excited for him that they don't know what to do. Cien never disappeared. It felt shitty that he wasn't wrestling and that he was just getting, like, backstage promos. And, like, I could see that happening at first when Alistair transitions, but I do think ultimately he will benefit from being on the main roster because he'll get more merch and more opportunities to work and stuff.
I don't really want to talk about this, but I do want to say that Brock saying, I don't watch the show, Paul. Why would I watch the show? Is the most I've ever liked Brock Lesnar.
I agree. I said the same thing, that backstage segment was the most I've ever liked Brock.
I don't watch the show, Paul.
Also, watching him turn on Paul, so satisfying. Like, I like Paul Heyman. I'm so tired of every time...
Both of them.
I'm so tired of every time I see Paul Heyman, I'm just immediately disappointed. Like, I want Paul to be with literally anyone else.
Honestly, I like Paul Heyman. I understand his, like, importance, whatever. I would be fine never seeing him in a wrestling ring again.
I would be perfectly fine never seeing him as well, but he's under a contract and I understand that they want to use him and he likes being there to some extent. And even if he doesn't want to work a full schedule, I can see why he's like, yeah, bring me on. I want to do these things. He's a hustler. He wants to make as much money as possible and
give him to Bobby.
I was just going to say that. I feel like if you're
he needs somebody to tell him, don't sing Rockin' Robin. And also, embarrassingly, you forgot the words. It's a very simple song.
So easy. Oh my god. Yeah, like, Brock needs an advocate because people fucking hate him and he's lazy or whatever. But Brock can actually talk on his own sometimes when he's willing to do it. Bobby can't. It doesn't feel like.
He can, not in WWE.
Yeah, not under these circumstances.
That thing really bothered me, the Edge having that thing where, like, his op-ed, or, like, not op-ed, it's something he said on his podcast where he was like, I just don't believe Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby's a good guy. All this stuff about his character, like, but that is fundamentally untrue in Bobby's, like, last year and a half at Impact.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I get that not everybody's watching Impact, but like
Babyface.
he is a shit babyface, and also like WWE is known to put like shackles on people, and Bobby has been shackled.
Oh, 100%.
Was he the best heel I've ever seen in my life? No, but Bobby could cut a promo, and when he was like back at Impact at first, they gave him mouthpieces, they gave him Kenny King, they gave him MVP, but then when those people went away, Bobby stepped up and did a good job, and he is a good, effective monster heel, and they fuck it up, and he, you know, it's not to say it's all their fault. Like, it's Bobby's fault too. Like, I feel like if you're gonna get brought back, you should be like, yeah, I should not be talking about towels and my sisters and singing and doing weird shit. Like,
let me beat some ass. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Boys are dumb. Let's talk about girls.
Yes.
Alicia Fox is the best.
Oh my god, her cute little wig. She's so adorable.
I just love that. I love that she was like listening to Alexa, like, I'm gonna let you talk. Weird cat noise. She was like, I'm just literally waiting for you to stop talking so I can be weird. And that is amazing.
I approve.
Also, she fucking won. Hell fucking yes.
I agree. It was super nice.
Was this the best match in the world? No. It really was. It was
It
kind
was
of
fine.
It was kind of like, yeah, it wasn't a great match. It was, you know, there were a couple moments like Natty tripped and like things, but you know, A, things happen, and B, Alicia has been out for a long time. Like, yeah, she's gonna have some fucking ring rust. It's not like she was the world's greatest wrestler before she got hurt.
Also,
she's obviously gonna have ring rust, but overall, it was fine, and her character work is so good and so strong. And yeah, she fucking deserves to have stuff like this. She deserves to fight Ronda Rousey, and she deserves to, like, you know, they're never gonna put the championship on her again, but she deserves to have the spotlight. And Alexa's saying, like, you're part of this evolution. You deserve to be there. Like, go remind people why you're important. I know that she was saying that as a heel who was like, I need somebody in my corner, but fucking yes, all of those things. Alicia Fox is great.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I was going to say, too, also, just to touch on Natty tripping, she fucking saved
covered
that.
the shit out of that.
Saved it so well. And commentary did a really good job, too, of being like, uh-oh, she tripped. Oh, man, she fucking nailed this move. And then immediately
Which is
be
like the best move, too. I love that.
I love that move. It's so good. And I like, too, that they immediately were like, Natty's had knee problems. Here's the thing. Like, we can totally make this work. And, like, she continued to have a seamless performance after that, which, like, sometimes that happens. Like, it happens to the men, it happens to the women.
I think with Alicia, like, Alicia still wrestles in a very diva style.
Yeah.
Where she takes a lot of breaks and, like, will do, like, an elbow in the corner and then, like, kind of walk around. Like, she doesn't wrestle fast, and she doesn't wrestle in the way a lot of, like, the newer-ish women come up.
She's the last of the old guard.
Right.
She really is. Like, there's no one left from the model years anymore except for her.
Obviously, like, Mickey falls into, like, a weird territory, but Mickey went away, wrestled on the indies all the time, and also was Mickey wrestled like Trish, and like Mickey was of that weird era that like transitioned from like, I mean, it's still Attitude Era and like blah blah blah, but like there was some quote real wrestling happening then, and then it transformed into the diva model era. So like Mickey's like a weird example, but yeah, Alicia is like the last of like the model era. And she is doing a good job, like,
she
keeping
still busts
up.
her ass, and I appreciate that.
She still wrestles like a very particular style, but like whatever. And you know, she'll always have a beautiful Northern Lights suplex.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'm happy that she's getting work and getting a mini push, even if she's going to get murdered by Ronda next week.
Yeah,
I did also appreciate Ronda's like segment where she went up to Kurt and was like, "I'm back, and I don't want to fucking wait anymore. Like, just use me. Like, I want to fight people. I'm here to fight." And like, that was good character work on her
I feel like the character that they're building with her has gotten stronger and stronger, and I appreciate the direction that they're moving with that. Definitely. Her wrestling still makes me fucking nervous. Like, I still, like, get really worried for the people that she's interacting with, but whatever. I, like, whatever. At least her hair looked better. Her makeup looks a little better. Maybe the people that she hired, we found out that they're not the glam squad that's not doing this to her. She's hiring people to do this. Maybe they finally read the internet and were like, we have to stop with the toaster strudels and the giant, like, pink eye makeup. We just have to. So I appreciate that she looked better this week. That was nice.
I'll do a men's shout out for the B team.
Yeah. I love the B team.
They're great, and they're doing great. And
I agree.
They were great in commentary, and they're like perpetual, like childlike wonder and excitement. It's really working. And also them like not throwing Miz on under the bus and being like, "Oh, I mean, he's gonna call. he's totally gonna call it. Like, he's got his new show. Like, I like
He's
that.
a baby. He's busy.
I like that they still have that thing, because it would be disingenuous for these like really like smiley like positive characters to be like, fuck the Miz. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
and it plays into their like naivete and their like childlike wonder. Like, they're doing a really good job. Also, like, good for the revival.
I completely
Fucking
agree.
thank God.
Also, I mean, we've said this again, but I think it bears repeating that they barred the revival, that they really fucked them over for a while.
Well, I mean, yeah, they had those double injuries and like that really fucked them up.
Well, they had, I mean, that happened for like a year and a half where it
Yeah.
was like one was injured, the other was injured, the other one's injured, the other one's injured again. But there was, I mean, they've been cleared for several months and we're just fucking sitting doing nothing. This is a very smart way for them to build up the B team and then eventually give the belts to the revival. I don't feel like the revival could have just been injected into where the division was before the B team were there. They could
They're
not.
doing a good job with the revival with the like Roman Lashley stuff, the like back talk with Kurt, hopping in, like watching the B team, watching Woken Warriors. Like, they're doing a good job with them.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's nice to see them committing to the revival because they are a great fucking team and really should be given the space to be really good. And I don't want them to have the Ascension or the AOP problem where they just don't meet the expectations that creative thought that they would, and then they just get completely forgotten forever. Like, the Revival are clearly a very specific kind of tag team, and they deserve a push in this era of tag team wrestling.
Yeah. If Drew versus Dolph versus Seth gets turned into a triple threat, do you think that's when Drew turns on Dolph? Or do they work together?
I think
also, sidebar, Dolph's hair was hilarious this week. Great heel hair, frankly.
Such good heel hair. I think that they team up together, and then when Dolph finally tries to pin Seth, Drew's like, you know what? Fuck you. This is bullshit. I should have this belt. This is so dumb.
And then Seth wins, and then they break up stuff?
No, I think that Drew wins.
Okay, I'm fine with that, obviously. Or do you think, like, Dean is supposed to be cleared around this time, do you think Dean comes back? Do you think it's Dolph and Drew versus Dean and Seth, and they're like
full body
saving
shiver.
us for like maybe it's a 2-on-1 type deal, and then like Dean comes back and we all like cream our shorts?
I fucking hope so. He's supposed to be ish now.
Right?
Like, he's not officially cleared yet, but he's fucking getting there. Yeah! Oh my god.
That's maybe a pipe dream, but like
back so bad. Ugh.
Riot Squad versus Sasha and Bailey. I'm sorry, Riot Squad versus the Boss and Hug connection?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this name. It's clearly
a terrible name.
I mean, it's clearly supposed to be the Rock and Sock connection. Like, I get it. It's
okay. Well, I didn't get that.
Oh yeah, it's 100% what that's referencing. Like,
their matching gear was amazing.
I love that they have references to Charlotte and Becky in that gear too. I think it's really good, and also like they're for sure gonna be the first women to win these.
They should be. You made such a good point about...
And I really, like, especially now with this matching gear, like, they're clearly moving in this direction. It really feels like...
To have them have the belts. Like, that makes...
It makes so much sense. And again, even if they immediately lose it to the Iconics, I'm fine with that.
Or to the Riot Squad, frankly.
But I think that they deserve to be the first ones. They've really, especially Bailey, has really eaten shit for, like, the last couple years. And this would be a really good way to push them. And when they inevitably break up, it'll feel even more satisfying. Like, up until now, we've built all this stuff and have had this very slow burn for them. This feels appropriate. It feels like a story they would give the men. I think that's always a really good thing to ask about the women's storylines. Would they give this to the men? If it's no, it's probably a bullshit storyline they shouldn't be doing. If they would do this with the men, it's usually a pretty good indicator that they're like thinking long-term about the women. Even if they don't always think long-term about the men, like they plan storyline-wise as though they will continue to think long-term. And this feels like a commitment to long-term Boss and Hug connection. Good. Fucking do it.
Did you see their like post Raw interview backstage?
I saw someone send it to us. I didn't have time to watch it.
Their stuff on Raw, totally like tag teamy, friendly. That backstage interview was gay.
What's with all the gay stuff?
Sasha was acting like a flirty, like, this is my boyfriend talking, and Bailey was like putting her arm around her shoulder and was being like, this is my girl. It was gay.
So they're building up to an Iconics feud, right? They've got to be. It feels
a gay off?
Yeah, it feels like they're building to a gay
lesbian off.
None of these people are lesbians. Come on. Possible 1 to 4 of them are bisexual, but as far as we know, none of them are gay.
Yeah.
maybe
Billy is like the only one that's like, no, I'm a lesbian. Yes, I am actually a lesbian. So, me. I know that was more New Zealand, but it's like really the only one I can do. Okay.
It's fine. She comes out as a lesbian and is like, and also, I'm from New Zealand.
Yeah. I'm actually a Kiwi and a lesbian. And then Peyton's like, a Kiwi?
I just wanted to impress you.
But we went to the same high school. School of choice.
I love the idea that Billy Kay's like, yeah, I'm going to school of choice from New Zealand. It's a long-ass commute, I gotta tell you.
I just want that world where, like, she's not horrified that her best friend came out as lesbian, but it's like, you're a Kiwi. And then Sasha and Baylor are just standing there with their husbands, like, or is Bailey married to the guy? I don't know. Who cares?
They're engaged. They're close enough.
Who cares? And Ty's like, oh, we have this dog.
Right? I'm just going to stand over here and not say anything. Peyton's like, yeah, do that.
Speaking of good women storylines, this Becky shit is good.
I like it a lot.
First of all, Becky, greatest babyface in the company, greatest
God,
babyface of all time.
She's so good.
Which is, remember, Becky was a great heel.
She is a great heel. When she and Sasha were Team Babe, better than everyone, or better than anyone, so good.
But Becky is just like the most fucking believable babyface.
I agree.
I think it's because she genuinely means everything that she says. And she was like, I haven't been in these matches for like years.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks for me.
Do you want to hear a sad fact?
No.
Naomi hasn't been in a match since June. Isn't that shitty?
But
I like didn't even realize it, and I saw.
I actually thought about it today because there was that like meme going around that's like, talk about your favorite wrestler in 5 words, and I did Drew and Brie, and I almost did Naomi, and then I was like, what am I gonna write? Just like glow, 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 glow.
You shut up. Everyone would know.
It's glow time, baby. But I mean, businesswoman loves drinking is the best.
Oh, so good, so good. I did one for woman. And one for man. Local man loves comedy spots, obviously. Hello. I felt that was a great one.
Oh, it is a good one.
And then for the women, I was like, colorful haired woman beats ass. And then after I sent it, was like, there could be so many people.
It's Asuka though, right?
It was Kimber, but also Asuka.
Okay.
Right? It's so many people.
Yeah, it's just women's wrestling.
Could be Mia. I also thought that afterwards. I was like, she's also pretty fucking badass.
I tried to think of one about Nicole Matthews, but they were so like specific to like female wrestle or like
Shimmer Taker is the best.
Shimmer Taker with cold. Wrestles in sweater with tea. Back to Becky. That was such a good it was like at Money in the Bank when everybody like every time she looked at the briefcase, everyone freaked out. Like people love Becky. All of wrestling, period, but WWE in general like needs good baby faces, and Becky can do both.
Absolutely.
Becky is so good. And then, honestly, I really enjoyed this Carmella spot. I know that her and Alexa have been having very similar things where they do this disingenuous, like, fake nice thing, but this was fucking believable because it obviously
this didn't feel like a fake nice thing.
It didn't. It honestly felt like Carmella's like, I'm going to come out and say all of this stuff that I actually feel.
Shit that she shouldn't be around that's a legend. I did not know about that.
Oh, I didn't either.
Because she said that and I was like, that's real. Like, you can just tell. Like, she was clearly upset about that and, like, I feel for that. I understand
She did such a good job in that segment. And then also, Becky refusing to be gullible in that moment. That was nice because Becky's been fucking gullible for a year.
Yes.
And then Carmella smartly having James Ellsworth music hit, like, and Becky's reaction. Like, it was just a good segment. And then I was really excited to see Charlotte come out.
I was too.
It was a good save.
Excited.
And then as soon as she come out, my brain was like, okay, triple threat. Like, I'm a little disappointed about that. Like, oh, triple threat.
Carmella and Charlotte had a great match.
Carmella and Charlotte had a great match. what I will say about the triple threat thing, at first I was kind of upset about it because I was like, oh, Charlotte, like, she does get all these golden opportunities. She's been gone. And, like, I just wanted to see Becky wrestle. But the fact that they're letting Becky say that stuff and the fact that they're actually using that as, like, storyline fodder, like, regardless, one of them wins it, it's going to go into a feud between Charlotte and Becky.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be, and honestly, if Charlotte wins, I don't necessarily want Becky to turn full heel. I want Becky to be like, do you not understand how hard I work here? Like, you pretend to be my friend and you discredit everything that I do.
Yeah.
I kind of want Becky to be like a downtrodden babyface.
Yeah.
And and Charlotte to be kind of
she's
like
the underdog.
She's
such
the underdog.
a good underdog. Like, I understand that Bayley was the underdog in their
Becky's the underdog.
Yeah, like now that the four horsewomen are in a different era, Becky is the underdog. Like, just totally is. And like, Bayley has her own babyface thing that she has to deal with, but writing her as the underdog no longer works. It's just not who her character has evolved into. You can't have all of these high-profile matches with Sasha and still be considered an underdog. It just doesn't really work like that. Becky for real feels like an underdog, though, because she has been fucked over so many times.
And the fact that they let her say all that stuff
is a big deal, and I really appreciate it. And if she wins this triple threat match, it's gonna feel incredible. It's gonna feel like it'll be elating in many ways that, like, man, I can't believe she fucking finally did this.
Yeah.
It'll be so satisfying, and I'm super into that.
Or to have Becky win and then have Charlotte turn heel again. Charlotte hasn't been heel in a moment. And Charlotte will be like, how you stole this from me. I am the fucking queen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's great. Mm-hmm. Like, not that, like, every friendship has to break up, but I think they have very interesting stories to tell with Becky and Charlotte, and I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Tea Time was fucking dumb, but, like, it got us to this point where, like, these two babyface women, and, like, this is interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree with
and
that.
It's interesting that they're, like, the four horsemen women have sectioned off and are, like, friends, and everyone's a babyface, but, like, there's similar stories, but very different stories with different histories. I just really like it. I also really like that backstage segment where Carmella went backstage to talk to Paige, and Paige was like, this is what being a champion is. And, like, dressed her down really hard because,
that fucking
like,
line, too, of, like, I'm something you'll never be again. Such a good heel line. Like, oh, girl. I like, too, that she was like, whatever you call baby girl or whatever you call me, you'll never be champion again. And Paige was like, I will rip your spine out.
It was so good because you, like, Paige telling Carmella how to be a champion because Paige was a great champion. Carmella slapping her back in the face and then, like, having that real moment from Paige. Like, that was, like, that's everything that, I mean, we all know Paige is only the general manager because she got hurt. It's the same thing that Miz and fucking Daniel have been doing. Like,
exactly. Like,
I can say anything to you because you can't fight me.
Right, exactly.
This is really good.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I think SmackDown's doing a really good job with the stories that they're telling with their women's division. I think they can use some of the other people, Naomi, more, but, like, for having never used Becky, I'm glad that they're doing this right now.
4 people then, but then you also got Lana and Zelina. Zelina in her first match on the main roster.
Absolutely. Oh, also, before we move on from the Charlotte Becky, Charlotte is my appreciate this weekend because this week because I think she looked great. And, like, I like that they sort of played with, she's got a little ring rust and, like, had a couple of moves that she was like, man, I'm fucking frustrated that this is not working the way that I thought.
But then,
like,
she was like, look at my beautiful moonsault.
Right? And, like, I did a really good job with that. And also was wearing no makeup. Had no makeup on. And,
or at least very minimal natural makeup.
Like, yeah, maybe had, like, a little bit of face on.
She looked really good with that natural shit.
Didn't even have, like, eyeliner on. She maybe had mascara, but, like, she had a very clearly, like, I'm not wearing makeup look on, and she looked fucking great.
I think, like, they did that naked shoot, and they realized, like, oh, she's fucking really pretty without all of this makeup, and it distinguishes her, and the fact that she is, like, this beautiful, like, Amazon without makeup, like, and is also a good thing for us. And also,
she
like,
shows up to Mania with a face full of makeup and the things on the side and the embellishments, it means more. If you don't ever do it every it's like the demon. If you don't have him do it
also plays into the fact that she, like, was just backstage watching and then was
absolutely.
like, I'm out here to fight for my friend, and it's like, oh shit, I got a match.
Absolutely. I thought that was really good. And I like that she's in the streetwear when she comes out. It made it feel more genuine.
I noticed something different about her, and I didn't realize the fact that she, like, didn't have a lot of makeup on.
I noticed something was different, and then once they got to the match, I was like, you don't have anything on your face. Or, like, you don't have makeup, capital M, on your face in the way that she normally does. And she looks fucking great. So I appreciate Charlotte this week.
Nice.
Zelina and Lana. Lana has gotten so much better.
Again,
just leaps and bounds better.
this was not the most technically beautiful match I've ever seen, but it was so fun to see Zelina actually wrestle. I loved, in my head, when they did the thing and the promo picture, and it was Lana with nobody and Zelina with Andrade, I was like, oh, this is weird. I kind of forgot that Rusev was like, I need my space last week. But I liked that they incorporated that into the match with Aiden coming out and fucking up again. But I liked at the end. He's trying so hard. Poor Aiden. But I like that at the end in that segment where Lana was like, I don't care about Aiden, Rusev. I could have used you. I'm always there for you. You're my husband. Like, I could have used you. And
you
like,
should have showed up for me.
I gave you space, but now like I need my space. Like, fuck you. Like,
and I like
him being like, what did I do? Which is such like a Rusev thing to be like, why are women mad at me?
I like too that when they had that small moment between Aiden and Lana where they heard Rusev coming and she told him to get lost, and not in like a fuck you, get out of here, I never want to see you, just like Rusev's gonna beat your ass, just get out of here. I'm like, that's
she
good.
seems like like more annoyed by the whole situation.
Right, and it felt like if she was truly pissed at him and wanted their faction to break up, she would have sold him down the river to Rusev and been like, he went that way. I like that that it seems very open-ended that everyone's under turmoil. It's not just like, we're married, fuck you, Aiden. It's like, all of us are having problems. It's all of Rusev Day that's
his
impacted.
faction.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's really smart to do it, because if they do eventually break this faction up, that's a better way to tell that story.
Also, good heel stuff for Andrade and Zelina. Like, they're good wrestlers. Zelina obviously is a good wrestler, but hasn't like been wrestling a lot, so obviously it's not going to be the most incredible thing in the world. But like, they're good wrestlers, but they're also heels, and they're also like very vocal, like in your face shitty heels. So to have them be really good and know that they can win without cheating, they're not actually cheating. They're just taking advantage of situations that are arising. Like, but they're racking up the wins. Like, that's good storytelling for them too. It's like good storytelling for everyone involved. Yeah, and honestly, good on Lana. She's getting a lot better.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think it's also worth noting too, like, they did the picture-in-picture screen for the commercials.
Right.
They trusted Lana to do a match that lasted 2 segments, and they kept her on screen during 5 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
That means that they trust her. Like,
She's clearly worked hard.
That is not a thing that they would have done even 6 months ago. And so I think that it speaks to how much
they
work
put her in
she's...
a fucking ladder match.
Yeah, and like...
She did a good job in the ladder match.
It really speaks to how... I think that Lana has figured out what her character is in a way that she didn't before, and like, whatever, she still does like the silly weird lame dance move, whatever, it's fine, but it doesn't feel as like,
because we also know that that's her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's fucking weirdo.
She seems more natural, and I really like that. And so I'm very proud of the work that Lana has done. I think that she deserves to continue getting these spots, and like, there should be a mid-card women's division, and she belongs in that division. Like, she has proved that she's fucking funny, and she should be able to do that.
And is a delight on Total Divas.
Absolutely. Like, can be a real delight.
Sidebar, speaking of which, Paige is back. They kicked off Alexa and Carmella, which they fully should have.
I feel like Carmella will be back next season now that she's single.
You keep saying that, but she was so boring.
Well, again, I think she was boring because she had a truly shitty partner.
But Paige was always great on Total Divas.
Yeah, true.
And Paige and the Bellas and Naya and Lana and Natty and Naomi, like, that is a fucking stellar-ass cast.
And you know what? Knowing now that Naya and Alexa are, like, IRL, not really friends anymore, I'm excited to see what Naya's doing.
Naya and Paige seem like they're besties, and Naya and the Bellas are really close. Like, Naya was a part of when Birdie B expanded into their plus sizes, which, sidebar, we never talked about the fact that they expanded into plus sizes really quickly.
They really did.
Line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they really listened to people, and they did that. And then they brought in Naya to be a part of that shoot. Like,
yeah.
I have bought several items of clothing from Birdie B, and I enjoy it.
I have not yet. I know that I probably should. Now that I know that they're like
honestly,
high quality clothing.
I got a tank top, sweatpants, and this like cute little crop sweater, and then like it's high quality. Like, I personally feel like it's worth the money.
Yeah, and I feel like at first when we looked at the amount of money that they were spending, even knowing that they were trying to be like fair trade and not slave practices and shit, like, it still kind of looked low quality in their original shoots and stuff. now having seen you wear it and like actually getting to feel the material, it actually does seem pretty high quality.
I haven't bought any of like the underwears and stuff, so I don't know about that. But like I've bought like the loungewear, and I very much enjoy the loungewear.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those pants are super cute.
They're
too.
so comfortable. I should have gotten a size larger in the pants, but I'm in between sizes for pants, so that's like a me thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It happens.
Anyways, do you have anything else to say about wrestling? We skipped over so many of the men, and it felt great, honestly.
It really did feel
We
good.
touched on a lot of them, but
we
like,
totally did.
It felt great. Did you guys like this? Should we talk about men less? I mean, it's still like an hour and 30 minutes, like, but we saved you like a half an hour.
Yeah. No, I think that's it. We've got pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I can't think of literally anything else.
You can find us on the internet. I'm at Stella_Cheeks.
I'm at EarnGency.
You can find us on Not Your Demo Pod. Honestly, please just follow that thing. We don't tweet on it a lot, and I know it's annoying, but like it really bothers me. I need there to be more followers there. I know there are more listeners. I know we started it late. It's a whole thing. Please just follow it. I'm desperately asking that of you. Also, you can follow Cage Side Seats on Twitter, where I like tweet and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You can send us an email at notyourdemo@gmail.com. We haven't gotten an email in what feels like several months.
We did get an email about James Gunn, and we didn't address it last week, but we talked about it this week, so thank you for that email.
Yes.
You can rate, review, and subscribe. I haven't checked our reviews in a minute. We may have gotten some. I will look for next week. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Look, we talked about how July got away from us. Not here. We talked about that on a Patreon episode. Guess what? There's a Patreon episode coming out.
Yeah, there is.
There's several coming out this month.
Uh-huh.
We're so sorry.
Yeah, it happens.
Speaking of our Patreon, we promise we'll post more. It was just July. It was weird, and you should follow us and support us on Patreon. I swear to God, we put content on there.
Yeah, we've already done up through WrestleMania 5 for every Mania.
We're recording WrestleMania 6 on Sunday, so it will be dropping ASAP.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you've got, as we said, NYD After Dark episode that'll be coming out. I also wanted to say, I wanted to give a shout out to one of our listeners, Taylor. He contacted me because he was like, you know what? I feel shitty about my job. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel kind of lost, and I just kind of need some advice.
Oh my God, I'm a monster. I started responding to that and then got pulled away from work. I swear to God, I agree with everything that Erin's saying. I feel so bad.
Do you want to hear a great update? He sent me a message today, and he was like, I took your advice and I applied for a bunch of jobs.
Yay!
I had a bunch of interviews, and today he got an interview. He got an offer to be a manager position.
Yay!
Yeah. So congratulations, Taylor. We're really glad that you tried it. As you have heard on this show, I have hostage anxiety. I totally understand how hard it is to make your job better. So fucking good for you, dude. We are really proud of you. So yay.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
Make your dreams happen.
I'm a monster. Yeah, everybody make your dreams happen. And I'm so sorry. Sometimes I don't respond to things, but it doesn't mean that I don't like you. Unless it does mean that I don't like you. But this particular person I do not dislike.
You didn't get hit with a good luck with your future endeavors. Making your lives better. Is that it? I think are that all of our things?
I don't know.
We have merch.
shirts.
You can buy our shirts. You gotta What a Maneuver and buy our shirts. They exist.
Somebody buy me a shirt.
Right. I don't even have one of our shirts. I should fucking
it's
get one.
on my list, my to-do list of go buy your own merch.
Right, exactly. I was like, I should buy one of these for Michael, I guess. He'll wear it if I get it for him in purple.
Will he? The feminist wrestling fan?
Oh yeah, because it looks cool.
Yeah, we got it designed by a professional graphic designer.
I know. It looks real good. Yeah, of course he'll wear it. He doesn't give a fuck what it says. I hope he wears it to the gym. I'm gonna be like, here's your feminist wrestling shirt. Take it to the gym.
I bought Nick a tank top of one of his favorite drag queens years ago, and he regularly wears it to the gym, and he does CrossFit, and he works out with these hairdressers, women who are very into CrossFit or whatever, and they're always like, adore, and he's like, yep, I like drag queens. Except for, in case you wanted to know, I stopped watching RuPaul's Drag Race as soon as Monet was eliminated. I was like, this season is bullshit. RuPaul's Drag Race might be bullshit now.
Yeah.
And so I stopped watching it. And then I heard who won, and I was like, yeah, right call, me.
I didn't watch any of the season because I heard so many mixed fucking things about it.
It's something that I've been committed to for years. I've loved it. And, I feel like I can watch a product and know that, maybe RuPaul's not, the best person, but I like these people. But this season was trash.
Well,
I feel bad because there were some really talented queens on it.
Well, we have a group chat with DEO, and he sent a photo of This Is Who Won. I literally thought it was a photo of Sasha Velour. I did not realize it was a different person. I was like, oh, RuPaul has a type. I see. Like it,
which has definitely evolved as the show has gotten more popular.
For 100%. It was just very weird to be like, I didn't watch any of this season. Why did Sasha Velour win a second season? It was just so weird. It's like, I mean,
understand. That is a compliment for Aquaria.
I mean, that's fine. And it feels weird too, because like I really like Sasha Velour, and we've talked about this before. I really think she deserved to win the last season.
She deserved to win that final lip sync. I still think Shay deserved to win the whole season.
Well, I think part of it is that Sasha was never in the bottom two, and if we had to see her perform before, it would have been
down this road.
Yeah, we've been down this road. But like it's very weird to be like, oh, you just look like this person. It was very strange. Like, ugh.
Anyways, buy our merch and wear it to the gym.
Yes. Do it.
2 words for you.
Bring out.
Businesswoman loves drinking.
Wine, 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 wine.
Mime. Should we get friendship jackets?
Yes, done. I agree. Let's do that.
Sounds like somebody had a rough day.
Your own outdoor retreat is waiting at the Home Depot. Get away from it all behind an easy-to-install fence, pre-stained and pre-treated. Or relax on the deck of your dreams, built with ground contact lumber, rich deck stains, and beautiful hardware. Even ready-to-install composite decking for years of backyard bliss. Your outdoor oasis is closer than you think. Well within reach, and only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Your own outdoor retreat is waiting at the Home Depot. Get away from it all behind an easy-to-install fence, pre-stained and pre-treated. Or relax on the deck of your dreams, built with ground contact lumber, rich deck stains, and beautiful hardware. Even ready-to-install composite decking for years of backyard bliss. Your outdoor oasis is closer than you think. Well within reach, and only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing.